Happy Saturday morning, everybody. I started once, so if you're confused that you're getting 2 notifications, that's it. I started once but deleted that because I wanted to make sure I had my microphone on so that you could hear me if I turn and do anything, grab something. So here we are. And I have my screen up so that hopefully I can see comments. Hopefully they will come in. All right, we're going to get started right away. I am in 2 places at once today. It's kind of funny. Inspired Memories is going on, and so my video is on right now on Inspired Memories, and I'm here live with you. So a person really can be in 2 places at once. Now, this sketch I loved when I found it. This is a vintage sketch, way old, like from 2016 or 2017. And I loved it because it leaves so much room to do whatever you want with it. Okay? So I pulled out some pictures from our trip to Cancun last year. And they're very, we were in a cave, so there's water, and it was kind of greenish blue, and then the cave itself. So I thought about that for a little while and what paper I wanted to use, because I don't believe pictures can be scrapped on any paper. I think you really have to match colors. And so, and I want to leave them 4x6. And in the sketch, they were cut down to 3x5. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do this in a 4x6 photo, and I'm using Copper Canyon because that's the first thing I thought of. And so I'm going to go through and look at what papers I want to use first. I love that green wood for this, but the pictures aren't going to show that much near the paper. So I've got some wood green and I've got some blue water, which is really nice with that. Makes it pop out a little bit. And I've got some stripes, which I always love for using. I'm going to grab this and this for right now. We'll put this on standby. And let's keep going through this pack because this is an older pack and I don't remember it. Oh, this is nice. Oh, that's even better. That's even better for what I want to do. And look at how that mimics the water in my cave pictures and the top of the cave. That's probably what I'm going to use right there. All right, I had seen a dark blue. This was dark. I might use that for some 1/8" strips, or I might even use this dark brown, depending upon, oh, that's nice, depending upon what I have going on. So I think I have my paper picked, with reserving the right to always change my mind if I want. Tell me who's here creating with me today. I'd love to know. I'm going to pop up comments. Hi, Denise and Michelle and Debbie. It's nice to see you. Okay, so here we have this gradient piece of the same kind of colors that I have in the photos. And this is also a very good mimicking of the colors. So I might even use that back side when I get to the top. But first I'm going to play a little bit with my background. So I have 1 sheet of white paper. And I pulled out some Rub-Ons from the Copper Canyon. And I'm going to do something kind of unique on the edges. I was thinking about splattering or inking, but then I saw this rub-on. So I'm going to take this rub-on and I'm just going to put a little bit on the sheet right here. I'm going to see if it'll rub with my fingers before I get out a tool. It did. Good. Now I'm going to take a little bit more and go down here. Okay, and those are just script letters. That's all that that is. And that's going to take the place of my, I'm going to do it right here. That's going to take the replace any of the inking that I was going to do. And we've got a little bit left. Look at how far I got this one little rub-on to go. I love our rub-ons because you can use your finger. And there we go. And I've used that whole rub-on. And it was just one little phrase. It was a script writing on the back of this. And I just took that one little piece and separated it into 4 different places. Okay, now I want to put my pictures down. And let's not even worry about those rub-ons. If I go over them, if I don't. I want a little room at the bottom for some paper. So I'm just going to put my photos about 2.5 inches from the bottom. Okay, so this is good. Definitely started with the photos. Tell me, I have read both ways that some people choose their paper and then choose their photos. What do you do? I'd like to know. I always choose my photos and then go hunting for paper, because I think that that is the easiest way for me to do things. But everybody else has a different way. Hi, Sandy, Debbie, Stephanie, Tracy. It's nice to see you all. Hi, Kimberly. So these were really fun pictures. This is in a place called, I'm going to say it wrong because I'm just going to pronounce this as X. It's Xcaret down in outside of Cancun, Mexico, but it's not pronounced like that. It's a whole different way to pronounce it. And but we loved it there. And there was a river that we went in and floated through the river, and I mean swam. I had to swim, we had to swim most of the time. And so I ended up on hanging on to Jerry most of the time because he could still walk. He was tall enough to walk through it. I was not at, barely 5 feet. But so I had to swim through most of it. And there was a little bit of a white edge, so I'm just going to move that picture in the middle. And there's a little bit of white inside. So now I have, this was 2.5 inches from the bottom, and I want a 1/2 inch showing on the bottom. So I'm going to cut a 2-inch piece. And I'm thinking I'm going to use this center. I'm really going to cut apart this paper to get exactly the color that I want. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut some of this. And I might even cut it down more because there's some green in this paper. Boy, whoever drew this paper did such a fine job. So 2 inches we needed. And then I've got this lovely piece that's going to match well. Now I want a 1/2 inch off of each edge. So I'm going to cut 1 inch off of this. put this down here. And do you see how my rub-ons just kind of add that little extra something on that page? And I'm going to keep refreshing because there's 42 of you on here now, 43, and I want to make sure that I see your comments in case I have to answer. So I'm going to go back just a little bit. Hi, Vicki. Sandy, you choose the paper first. That's interesting. Linda, photos first. Tracy, photos first. Oh, Michelle, I'm so glad you like these Saturday morning sketches. Hi, Shirley. Oh, Michelle, I am so glad that these are helping you pick paper. I went back and forth on this paper and didn't quite know what I wanted to do. But I'm going to grab my Toffee Crunch ink. And I'm just going to edge this paper. 90-degree angle. I don't want it in. I just want a distinction on the edge of that paper. And so if you want just a distinction, you want to just do the edge. I have a very good friend in Canada, Jennifer, that taught me this. And I love that she taught me this because leaving that distinguished edge is really nice. Okay. So do you see why I did that now? Can you see that edge on that white? I love that a lot. So let's go ahead and put this down. Now too, if your photos aren't printed quite 4x6 and you end up with a little bit of space in between them like I did, just a hairline bit of space, you can always cut down the side of your paper too. But I'm perfectly fine with those being just like that. All right. Now we've got this other piece that I said was really good for the top of the cave. However, this is really good for the top as well. So I'm wondering what I'm going to do here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use this, but I'm going to use this portion. Now I have 3.5 inches left, so I need a 3-inch piece from here in order to make that. I'm going to leave just a tiny bit of that green on there. And when I say tiny, I mean little bit like this. Okay, and then I'm going to turn it around and cut it 3 inches. Make your paper work for you when you scrapbook. When you are doing something like this, oh, I want this edge off. Not that beautiful green on the other edge. When you are doing something like this, don't be afraid to cut apart your paper. Now we have a little inch. See, I can see my photos weren't exactly 4x6. They didn't come from the printer 4x6, and so I've got that little bit of room. So I'm going to, fuss budget that I am, pick up these pictures. Okay. Using my multi-purpose tool. I think I finally have that right. After 2 years and some months, I think I finally know what this tool is called. That tool works very well for rub-ons too. Okay, so let's get these photos in the center first where I want them, because I do not want to cut another piece of that paper. All right, so I'm going 2 5/8 and 8 5/8 with my pictures, so that I can make my paper on the top and the bottom the same. Just a little altering. Now, because I had to do that, I may very well cut that edge off of there. And wouldn't you know, this morning I grabbed the white tape runner instead of my repositionable. But it's coming off. And yep, there's just that little bit of edge. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that edge off. It kind of works out good that this didn't go right to the edge, because it's okay. Now, I hope you have the Creative Memories trimmer, because it is the one trimmer I know where you can do pieces like this off of the paper, just little tiny strips. If you need something very little off, this is the paper to do it. Okay, and I didn't go quite far enough, so I'm going just a little bit more, and that was what I needed. Okay. Now we'll get that paper on the bottom and the top. See, even I have to take things apart. So never feel bad if you have to take things apart. It just is what it is. And hopefully you appreciate seeing that I have to do that as well. And it's okay. I'm going to grab my Barely Art liquid glue. I love this glue. It's got this pinpoint. You can buy this just about anywhere. I don't know if they have it in the stores, but you can buy it on Amazon. Just Barely Art. I've got to get it started. I mustn't have cleaned it well. Oh, there it's coming. After my last use. I use this so much. I use it for little things like this when I want a corner down. I use it for die cuts, all kinds of things. But Barely Art Liquid Precision Craft Glue. And it's great. And now, this is what I probably didn't do. I probably didn't put the pin in it right away last time. So let's get that pin in. It comes with a pin and everything. All right, so let's edge this nice brown piece that matches so well. And I'm really liking the contrast of colors on this page. And I think Copper Canyon was just the right choice. I think when we pick out pictures, if you go photos first, photos are, you know, have colors in them that you want to bring out, and textures. This one has the depth in it that I wanted to bring out. Now, I want you to notice in the sketch, this was a full 11 by 11 sheet on top the white, so you can do that. But because I wanted to use 4 by 6s, I brought them all the way out. I really like the other side on there better. And I'm going to go ahead and put that down. Now, I feel like I've got just a little bit of run-in. Do you understand what I mean? Like the cave runs into the paper and the water runs in here. I'm going to take that blue that I had. I'm going to try this blue first. and we'll see if this one works. And if not, I'm going to cut some of that blue stripe. I'm either going to use this blue or this one. So we'll see. Oh, I really like that one. I'm going to go with this one first. Okay, so I'm going to cut an 1/8 of an inch strip. I'm going to cut 2 1/8 inch strips. Now, on your Creative Memories trimmer, this second line, this is the line. The left one is where we line up our paper for cutting, and this second one is an 1/8 inch. Okay, and then the end of the gray is a 1/4 inch. So did you know that? So that you have that down and you can cut all those measurements, because I do put those measurements in my workshops. Oh, Kim, the blue mat. I know, I love this blue mat, and it shows up well on video. It's coming. We had it for a little while. It's sold out, and it's coming. So Stephanie, you are photos first and then paper. So I've got this in at the 1/8 inch mark, and look at how I get just a nice 1/8 inch strip. So it's not anything that's going to overpower the page. It's just going to enhance that little bit. When sometimes a 1/4 of an inch is too much, an 1/8 of an inch does things just perfectly. And I think I liked that blue because I liked that it was a blue-green. Okay. So now let's put this liquid glue right up against the top of the photos. And I'm just putting dots all along the way. But this is where a nice liquid glue really helps, because it's very hard to get adhesive on the back of one of those, on the back of an 1/8 inch strip. And if it goes over the strip, which it probably will on an 1/8 inch strip, it does dry clear. So you never have to worry about that. And look at what difference that made just to add that little blue strip, right? So now I'm going to do that at the bottom too, so that we have a nice distinction. This cave was so fun. It was pretty wide open, and we had, if you ever go down to Xcaret, or if you have been there, you know that you can buy a photo pass. And what it is a wristband, and there's all kinds of photo stops throughout the park, and you can just get your picture taken. So that's what we were doing here. You can even see my husband's hand still up there. So we just went wherever, when we were exploring, wherever there was a photo spot, we just had our photos taken, and I loved it. And anytime somebody can take photos for me, I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled that I'm not doing a selfie. I love what that little bit of blue stripe did for distinction around the photos. What do you think? Don't you think that makes such a big difference to just have that beginning and end and the top and the bottom of this? Next we have another sheet, it says, so like another sheet across here if you want, with a title, and then it's got title, 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 most likely meaning journaling, okay? And then we've got all kinds of embellishments around here. I'm going to start with the embellishments, but I'm also going to pull out this frame and see if I like that on there. This is one of the frames. It doesn't hide much on there. It hides the Xcaret sign, but it doesn't hide us. And I really like it. I'm waiting to see it on the screen to see what I think. Oh, I really like that. And I have one other frame, but this one would hide because it's full. but it's smaller. So let's wait until I can see this on the screen so I can decide if I want that. In the meantime, I'm gonna look for some title pieces. Look at that, simply wonderful. It was, or I've got So Happy. This Copper Canyon, we need this again and again and again. And we need it to never go out of stock. Because look at this already built embellishment. If I didn't use that, I could use this down here. That might be too big of an embellishment. Let's see. I've got to see that frame on there. Oh, you guys, tell me which frame you like, the first one or the second one, because I can't make a decision here. This is kind of a horse apiece for me. So tell me which one you like. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. That's what you're going to get on Saturday morning sketches. I don't know if I want this one or this one. But what that does is frame off that center picture, and I love that. I think I'm waiting for it to come up on screen to see again. Oh, this is a tough decision. I'm going to set that aside for a minute and look at some more embellishments. Everyone has a story to tell. That's a great embellishment. Life is full of wonderful adventures. Yes, it is. And this was one of those wonderful adventures. Now, I like this one because it has the green and the brown, and it's opposite, so it really stands out well on there. But let me see, and let me refresh to see if you told me which one you liked better. Don't be afraid. I'm open for opinions. Oh boy. Okay, number 2. Liz, you liked the first one, the second one, the first frame, Christina says. Second, it's overwhelmingly second, but I just don't know. And I really, now that I've got these frames here, I gotta do it. Well, let's leave that there for, no, let's leave this one here for a second. I really like the openness of that frame. I think that it adds a whole bunch of interest to the page. Let's leave it there and let it sit for a minute, and I'm going to look at some other things. Now, this says title, but when I have something like this, I don't really need a title. Now we're just covering caves, so I'm okay with that. And if I were to do something like that, I think I would take this other rub-on transfer and put it behind there. There's some little bubbles too that are kind of cool for a cave. And oh, beauty is everywhere. It is, and it was beautiful in this cave. These pictures just don't even do it justice. I'm going to leave that. That's what I'm going to do right there. Life is full of wonderful adventures and then simply wonderful. And I'm going for it. I'm putting this first frame down. And I'm going to use, I'm going to use repositionable at first. Not the glue. If you put the glue down, you're done. And so this gives me a little time to change my mind if I want to. But before I put this down, I'm going to rub on this transfer right here so that it's right under where I want that Simply Wonderful title. These rub off so easily. I hope you got some of these when we had them. Oh, see, isn't that nice? That's really nice. And then I've got a bigger one, and I can put it partially down here. So we'll do this first. We're going for it. We're putting this frame, you guys. It looks like there's one square above there and one square above there. Yep, and I like it because I can still see that sign. Okay? All right. Now we're on. Now we're going to get that Simply Wonderful title because have you ever been in a cave? Tell me if you've ever been in a cave. I absolutely love going into them. I was in the caves in Thailand with my son. You've probably heard this story. That was frightening. That was really frightening. But on the other side of that cave was like heaven. It was untouched and it was heaven. And so it was worth every uncomfortableness that I went through. He was okay going through it. But when I had my eyes closed the whole time, and we were in a deflating kayak that took us through. And when I opened my eyes were right next to the top of the cave. So it was kind of a, looks like I need a little bit right here. It was kind of tight quarters, I guess you could say. But I loved having that experience with my son. So it's something that we can look back on for the rest of our lives. And this one was not so tight. There was plenty of room. But, oh, I like how those bubbles are hidden behind there. Okay, so you saw I only put 3D foam on part of it where I want it to stand up from the frame. The rest of it is getting repositionable tape. Okay. Now, if I were going to journal on this page, I would journal around the edges, but I'm not because this is only the first page of this series of photos. So on my second page, I'm going to build in the journaling. Simply Wonderful. All right, and since I know that frame is sticking down, now I'm going to take some adhesive, some of this liquid, and put it on the edge of these. That's kind of tilting up. Right up here too. This is really easy glue to use, you guys. If you don't have it, run yourself to Amazon and put it in your cart. Barely Art. And I just get the mini one, the 2-ounce one, because that's plenty to have. Okay. Life is full of wonderful adventures. Well, what are you thinking so far? I'm going to cut a portion of these bubbles off. And it's okay that I have a line in between the bubbles because I'm going to put it right up against something. So I'm going to put it right up against that or right up against here, which I think I like it here better. Okay. So it makes it look like it was right under that photo. And you can always use your all-purpose tool for this. That's why it's all-purpose. I gotta say, I work with a lot of rub-ons, and I love ours the most. I love the Creative Memories ones the most. Let's see what y'all been saying. Oh, yes, the water was cold. Hi, Emily. Oh, it's so nice to see you, honey. I don't get to see you. Either you're going to have to come to Minnesota or I'm going to have to go to Utah. Okay, look at that. That's fun. That's really a fun element on the page. Oh, you were tubing in Kauai. Oh my goodness, so much fun. Kauai is a beautiful place. Okay, let's get this up here because I know that I want this on here. I hope you guys learn when you're with me on these Saturday mornings that nothing is set in stone at all, that you can change your mind. Just because you've picked something out doesn't mean it has to be what you end up with. Okay, if I had come through to this Copper Canyon paper and it didn't work out for me, I would have switched the paper completely. I would have gone with something different, but it did work. And that one sheet that had the blue at the bottom and the brown on the top, oh my gosh. Like I said, we need much, much more of that paper. Now, I don't know that I need a whole lot more embellishment on here. There are a couple of things, like I love this little banner that says "These Moments." We had so much fun going through there. I would do it again in a heartbeat. It's a happy day. This one, Joyful State, hashtag Joyful State, is kind of fun too. I almost am looking for something that has an edge over here so that I can put it off and it balances a little bit more. When it's over here, I feel like it's not very balanced with everything else on the page. It's a happy day. That'll work. And then I had Adventures, which brings in that copper from the Embellishments. So I don't know which one I want. I'm going to just, oh, Beauty is Everywhere. I don't have to decide. That's better. That's even better when I don't have to decide. Okay. Because I wanted this on there somewhere. This was absolutely lovely. Maybe I'll try to do the second page on another week so that you can see the pictures. I gotta lift that up. Oh, the typing is crooked. I see. I thought I was crooked. The typing is a little crooked. Okay. Now, as far as I'm concerned, this page is done. I'm pulling out some gems. These are from, since we don't sell gems, I want to tell you a great place to get them is Honeybee Stamps. And they make all kinds of different gems. And this one has coppery looking gems on it. And they are called Grain and Grunge. And I just love them for these types of pages. So you can go, like I said, to scrapbook.com where you would get glue. And you can go to Honeybee Stamps online and you can get them right directly. And you get a lot. You get a lot in the package. So until the day when you will hear me shouting from the rooftops that we have gems, that's a place to get them. Oh, I like that. Okay, now I'm going to put just a couple over here. And you notice probably that I put gems in groups of 3 or 5. It's just a nice design theory that I've always stuck to. And now we have those gems in a triangle. And that little bit of rub-ons on the outside is like a perfect complement. And I have one more set of those left, so I can continue that whole process on my matching page when I do it. All right, you guys, this was fun. This was a fun page to build. I absolutely love what we chose. I love, so many of you chose, but I had a lot of people that chose the first one, a lot of people that chose the second one, and so I was left up to my own devices and went with the first one. Let's see. Yes, Christina, they have the best gems to choose from. I agree. I have them for all the different things, and I love them. And they fit perfectly in our sort and stash. So, all right, you guys, I didn't even keep you that long today, but it's 9:43 right now, and thank you so much for hanging in with me while we made decisions, while we worked with some older product that you probably have in your stash. And this is going to make just a wonderful layout in my book. And if you go ahead and do, I see these little things up here that might need some gems. If you create this page, I'd love for you to put it in the comments of this video so that I can see it. I'd love to see what you design with it. Because depending upon what you do, this page is going to look so different. And that's what I loved about the sketch. So when you get these sketches from me, I just put it on my page. All you need to do is right click. I opened it in another window, printed it, and there I have it. Now I'm going to put this sketch in my binder, and I'm going to have it to look at for a lot of time. I can do so many different things with this. Even 3x4 photos would look nice on here. So you guys have a great day. If you're in our Inspired Memories class, I hope that when you watch, you have a wonderful time in our last set of classes. And I will talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.